Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to QuintEdge. My name is Avijit Kumar Gupta. I'm a faculty at QuintEdge, and today we will be discussing about big data and data analytics. This is a topic in your performance management, but at the same time, this is also the need of the hour, the need of the day, because data is the new oil. I'm sure you must have heard of this. Now, what is big data? As the name itself suggests, data which is very big, data which is very huge. So, huge amounts of data is simply called as big data. So, sir, does that mean that there is something called as small data as well? So, the answer is no. There is nothing called as small data. Small data is nothing but your traditional data. Okay, I mean, back in the old days when we were collecting data, that was called as your traditional data, or you might also call it small data, but small data was not a terminology which was used before, but big data is something which is being used in our day-to-day life. So what is big data? Big data means you keep loads and 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 loads of information. Are you getting? By the time number of times I repeated loads and loads, it is zettabytes of data. It is petabytes of data which is being stored. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you must have heard of gigabytes, terabytes, but gigabytes and terabytes are old. Now data is being stored at petabyte level, zettabyte level. Okay. So the data amount of data gets huge when it comes to big data. So data is the new oil. All our companies, all the day-to-day companies are keeping loads and loads of amount of data. I mean, I'm sure you must be using a smartphone. You must be watching this video on a smartphone. You are also generating loads and loads of data on a daily basis and giving it to somebody. Sir, we are also generating data. Yes, you are also generating data. Whatever calls you receive, whatever SMSs, messages you receive, whatever emails you share, whatever images you upload on Instagram, whatever images you upload on Meta, whatever you search on Google, everything, if even if you go on your Google Maps, whatever places you search, each and everything is being compiled in, and they're being assessed on a regular basis. I'm sure you must have felt that you, whenever you start talking about a product, you might start seeing it in your ads. Whenever you start searching about a product, you might start, you might feel that in the next few days you will get ads, or you will see the product on your various websites whichever you visit. Yes, so how is it possible? That is only possible because companies are keeping a track of whatever you're not searching, whatever records whatever data you're inputting into your mobile phones. So imagine, this is one data that your mobile phone is getting, giving to the to the companies. Imagine 5 billion, 6 billion users of mobile phones, how much data they must be generating on a daily basis. Yes. So let's have a look. What is big data? Big data refers to extremely large sets of information. Let me just change the color. Yes. Big data refers to extremely large sets of information that are too complex or too fast moving for traditional tools to manage or analyze effectively. I'm sure you must have heard of RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, or you must have heard of DBMS. No, you've not heard of it. If you remember, I mean, I'm sure you must have used Microsoft, MS Word, MS Excel. So there is one uh, you know uh, my MS Office software which is called as your MS Access. Yes, Microsoft Access or MS Excel. So these are all your traditional tools which were used to manage data, but because of petabytes of data, the amount of data that is so huge, it is not possible for the traditional tools to manage big data. So that is why there are other tools which have come into the picture, and they are being used on a regular basis to monitor the information volumes of data that is being generated on a daily basis. Okay. Now, what are some of the examples? If you see YouTube, I mean, if you're watching this video on YouTube, I'm sure then you are generating data. Whatever you're searching, whatever you're typing as a comment, where or whichever channel you're subscribing to, whichever video you're liking to, it is also generating loads and loads of data. Google Maps is also creating a lot of data. Whatever places you're searching to, next restaurant that you want to visit, or the next trip that you want to make to a hill station, everything is being recorded. Your e-commerce websites, if you place an order on Amazon, you place an order on Big Basket, you place an order on Flipkart, anything that you search, anything you place an order is compiled and it is generated into big data. Healthcare, whatever websites you order, your apps which you use to place your orders for medicines, they try, companies try to analyze your data. For example, if a person is suffering from diabetes and he's on a regular basis, he's buying medicines. So at one point of time, these patients start seeing ads for the relative medicines, or the app will send them a reminder that it is time to buy your medicines. You must have, depleted your medicines. So how is it possible? Only possible because of big data. Social media, whatever videos you're posting on Instagram, on Meta, on Snapchat, on TikTok, everything has is being recorded and it is being analyzed on a regular basis. So you yourself are generating a lot of big data. Imagine the amount of data that is being generated around the world at this point of time. Yes. Now, why it matters? I mean, why is big data important? Big data is important because companies, I mean, obviously, I'm sure at some point of time you will also want to, start off a business. If, for example, you want to start off a business, so you would want to take the needs, identify what your customer wants, or what your what all services does the customer want, what does he like, what does he not like, why is a competitor able to sell more. So for that you need data. Yes. So why do we need big data? For example, we need big data to predict the consumer's behavior. What is he going to buy next? For example, I mean, I'm just giving an example. um, if you look at women are, that women have a tendency to buy a lot of to do a lot of shopping during, for example, festival seasons. Yes. So the companies keep a track as to what all does a customer, what all do women buy during the festival seasons. Do they buy earrings, do they buy sarees, do they buy, you know jewelry? So whatever is the general buying pattern, so based on that, the companies will, start, producing that kind of product which the customer is actually demanding. Okay. Next, improve decision making. Companies need your data to improve their decisions. With more complete information, organizations can make better informed choices backed by evidence rather than intuition. Obviously, I mean, everybody wants to predict the future, but nobody is able to actually. But what if you're actually able to predict with a lot of accuracy? Then it will be better for you. Yes. So what happens, because of big data, because of huge volumes of data, it gets easier for the company to actually go on and identify what does the customer actually want, what will he buy in this period. For example, in summers, we all know that in summers in India, what do we buy? We buy a lot of ACs, air conditioners, we buy a lot of water coolers. Yes. So what type of water cooler is the customer preferring? What kind of AC? What kind of features does the customer want? So that is something that, is available, and this helps the organization. This data helps the organization in making better informed decisions, making those products which the customer will actually go on to buy. Next, it also boosts efficiency in the business. Data analysis reveals the bottlenecks and the opportunities for streamlining the operations and reducing waste. Now, for example, you must have seen that companies make certain products, but after a few, after, I mean, they when they, start selling the product, it becomes a huge hit. But after some time, the product immediately goes away out of the market. Yes. So what happens is, companies, if they have big volumes of data, they can actually predict how many units of a particular product should be made, so that they're not wasting the product. They're not wasting, they're not wasting their raw material, and ultimately, they're not ending up making losses. Yes. So it is important because of this. Now, what are the characteristics of big data? Like, for example, my characteristic is that I teach. I mean, I'm a teacher. I teach, using, for example, a board, or I teach on a tablet. So, characteristics of big data. What are the characteristics of big data? Let's have a look. First, the amount of data that you get on using big data is huge. The volume, first of all, let's identify that there are five characteristics, five V's of data, big data. Okay. So first is the volume. The amount of data, I've been repeating it again and again. The amount of data that is being collected is huge. It is in petabytes. Okay. I'm sure you must have understood that much now. So volume. If you see at QuintEdge also, we take note of the data. We collect your data. I mean, if you like our video, we will get to know that, okay, this is a topic which you like. We will make videos on that topic. If you comment on a particular video and ask certain questions, we will get to know, okay, that these are the queries that students generally face. So in the next video, we'll make sure that that query has been resolved previously, so that you don't end up having the same doubt again and again. Or when you fill our forms, so we get to know that, okay, these are the age groups which we have to cater to. What type of videos do you want? Yes. So at QuintEdge also, we make use of this large volumes of data which you share with us. Okay. For example, watch time. I mean, for how long have you stayed with us during this video? I hope you're staying with us on this video. Next, quiz scores, attendance logs, feedback forms, etc. Each and everything that you share with us, we keep a track of it, and we make sure that we give you a better product, we give you better services the next time that you come to us. Yes. Now let's move on. The next V is velocity. Velocity basically means the speed at which we get data. So the speed at which you share data with us is tremendous, and the speed at which we store is also tremendous, obviously. Yes. So whatever, if you like a video, if you dislike a video, if you comment on our video, I mean, if you give the examinations which we conduct, which if you conduct, take our tests, take our quizzes, take our webinars. So on those, on those platforms, on those data sources, wherever you click our wherever you input, give us data, that is being collected at a very fast pace. Okay, so at QuintEdge, data comes in real time. A student joins a webinar, another student takes a quiz, someone submits a doubt in the chat. This data needs to be captured and responded to immediately for best experience. Yes, live chat support collects hundreds of queries daily that need quick data-driven responses. So this is the second V, which is your velocity. Okay. Now, what is the next V? Can anybody guess? The next V is variety of data. We get a lot of data, which is, some data is structured, some data is not structured. So what is the structured data? For example, if you visit QuintEdge, you will see, we will ask you to fill a form where you will required to give in your details, your name, your address, your phone number, your email address, what course are you pursuing from QuintEdge, where, I mean, which subject are you interested in. So that is a structured data where we will be getting your data, for example, in a tabular format. That is better for you to understand. So if we get data in a tabular format, basically that is the structured data. But we also get data in the form of unstructured formats. So what are unstructured formats? For example, a student is sharing an image and asking a particular doubt about a question, or a student is giving a, asking his doubt on a voice note, so we have to answer that voice note. A student is, sharing a video with us. Sir, this is the, whatever is whatever is his query, he might be sharing, asking the questions on a video format. So anything, any format which is not in a tabular format or which is not structured is your unstructured data. Okay. So structured data, some examples, for example, registration forms, quiz scores, attendance sheets. So these are all examples of your structured data. So basically, we're covering what? Variety. We get data in the form of a variety of information. And what is unstructured data? We get, I mean, you students also get video recordings of our lectures, voice queries, student reviews, emails, telegram chats, voice notes from students, typed feedback, ratings. So these are the three types of data that need to be understood together. Students give us voice notes, they give us a typed feedback, they give us ratings. So this is what this is an example of unstructured data. So I'm getting through to you. Next, let's move on. What is the fourth type? That is your veracity. Veracity basically means accuracy and reliance on the data. Do we, does the I mean, the data that we get, is it accurate? Is it reliable? Can we actually, uh, you know, uh, come to good conclusions based on this data? Basically, having faith on the data, accurately, accuracy of the data. Yes. Now, for example, you must have seen that students, I mean, you must have seen that, people give ratings on Google, people give ratings on other platforms. So sometimes what happens is we find that somebody is giving us a negative review even when they have not studied with us. So that negative review is not a reliable data for us, because we cannot get anything out of that, because we know that the student, that person has not studied with us. Okay, so we have to separate the unreliable data or the inaccurate data from the big volume of data. Yes, so the data that we receive should be accurate and should be reliable. Let's have a look. The data should be, if you see, the data should be trustworthy and accuracy. At QuintEdge, not all the feedback is clear or unbiased. Some students give fake emails. Some quiz scores may be incomplete due to poor internet. So, cleaning and verifying the data is crucial for meaningful analysis. We cross check assignment submissions with login data to avoid false claims for certificates. You must have seen that at QuintEdge, you also provide various certificates. So sometimes what happens is students try to get a certificate without passing the exam, or by using a fake profile. Yes, so we have to make sure that the data that is, I mean, the student that is being asked, that is asking us for the certificate, is genuinely studying from us, has generally cleared the exam, and only after that do we issue the certificate. So basically, I'm not promoting QuintEdge. I'm just trying to explain how we at QuintEdge are also making use of big data. So basic objective is to explain what is big data and how do organizations use big data. Okay, so that is why we're taking example of QuintEdge. Next, the last one is value. The last one is value. We want to give you, we want to give you value. That's the ultimate objective. That's why we're making videos. That's why we're providing you different types of features or different types of, you know, facilities at QuintEdge. So that we end up giving you value. So based on the amount of data that we collect, we ultimately process that data and we try to give you a good quality class. Yes. So that is why that is the fifth characteristics of big data, that is value. At QuintEdge, using data helps improve student experience and business outcomes. So, what do we mean? First of all, we try to know which lecture needs improvement. I mean, we record classes on a daily basis. So, on the basis of student reviews, on the basis of student ratings, we get to know that this lecture needs improvement. This lecture does not, give that much quality to the student. So that's why we need to actually re-record this video. Yes. Next, it also helps us identify high performing students for internships. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you must be aware, or if you're not, then I should tell you that at QuintEdge we also provide internships, or even get students placed for at various jobs. So we identify high performing students and, get them placed at different companies, high paying companies, or they get them placed as interns in different companies. So Last is detect topics where most students are stuck. Okay, obviously there is something or the other, some chapter or the other which you might face difficulty. So at QuintEdge, we try to use our data and identify the topics which will which are difficult for you to understand, and try and improve that video or improve that lecture so that you get the most value out of our classes. Okay, so I hope you're getting what big data actually means. I'm just trying to give you an example. Okay. Now, what is data analytics? So data analytics basically means whatever data that you have gotten, you process that data, you filter out the useful information, you throw off the unnecessary information, and based on the information that is reliable, you make use of data and you take better informed decisions. Okay, so that you provide ultimately value to your customer. So let's have a look. What is data analytics? Data analytics is the process of looking at large amounts of data to find useful patterns and make better decisions. Think of it like solving a mystery. You are going through clues to find out what's really happening and what you should do next. Okay. So I've just given a small example, predicting customer demand. Imagine if a company wants to predict the demand of how many people will buy product X next month. I have a product and I want to identify how many products will I be able to sell, or how much the customer will demand. So how do I do that? First, the computer looks at the past sales. I mean, based on the monthly sales that have been that have occurred in the past, it will take a look at that data. Next, it will create a model, like a formula basically, to predict your future sales. Next, every time new sales data comes in, the model learns and improves. So first of all, just learn from your past. Then based on your past, predict what will be the future. And as the sales keep on increasing, I mean as you keep on selling your product, you will get to know, okay, based on the past, these are the changes which have been occurring in this month. So you will learn from that. The system, the formula will learn from that. And over time, its predictions become more and more accurate. Okay. So the more the data it gets, the better it becomes at forecasting. Okay. So I'm sure I have gotten through you and in understanding what big data actually means. Okay. So if you have any doubts, please feel free to contact us. Please uh, comment and tell us what all videos you would like us to make in the future, so that we can actually give you even more value in our videos. Okay. So thank you so much. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. If you wish to join our classes, please visit our website quintedge.com, and you can simply get yourself enrolled with us at any time. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep working, keep studying hard, and keep following us. Thank you so much.